Okay, we're going to be working today with two kinds of sharp things, hydrochloric acid and razor blades. This says Superior Platinum. I think that's just part of the product name. I believe that most, if not all, razor blades are what's called Martensitic, Martensitic, Martensitic stainless steel. What does that mean? I don't really know. I think it means that it has a higher chromium content and like 0.5, 0.6% carbon. Obviously, it's, you know, paper thin, it's whatever. And what we have is a 3 molar, or about a 11% hydrochloric acid solution. Apparently, because the chloride ions will attack this, and there won't be a passive layer on it. There won't be like an oxide layer that, or there will be an oxide layer that forms, but the chloride ions can get through it. So apparently this is going to generate hydrogen gas, which is extremely flammable, but I don't think it will generate much of it. So here's that. Well, that's exciting, isn't it? Let's come back in about 10 minutes. So I was just looking up online. I don't know. This is some kind of, like I said, it's some kind of Martensitic stainless steel, and there seems to be some confusion or whatever about whether or not these are actually platinum coated. Some of their marketing stuff says platinum coating. I don't know if that's maybe just on the blade edge or what. But if they were, in theory, completely platinum coated, platinum is almost completely inert against like everything, but also against acids like this. And oop, there it goes. Now we're floating. See, look. So something's definitely happening. That is hydrogen. And is that? Yeah, that's actually like chunks. This is a. You might think that's like beard hair or something, but this is. I've not used. Oh, you know what that is? That's just the ink. See the ink, the Astra Superior Platinum, whatever. That's just the ink coming off. Anyway, when I dropped it in, I expected some kind of initial reaction. I suppose I shouldn't have expected a reaction like with the eggshell, because that's not an acid-base neutralization thing. So I wondered perhaps if these weren't going to be actual platinum coated, but they're not. They're very, very cheap, so I would have been shocked if they were. But what's happening now is we are actually seeing more and more hydrogen released as whatever that outside passive layer is being neutralized or eaten away or corroded or whatever. And it looks much darker than it did. This has been about 15 minutes since I put it in, and it's bubbling a lot more, and it bubbles enough that it starts to float, right? And then when it reaches the surface, all those bubbles pop and it sinks back to the bottom. But this is only 50 mils. Obviously I didn't even really need that much for to be able to cover a razor blade, but here we are. So we'll come back in another 15 minutes or so. And it's looking very black, charred, still bubbling. I'm pretty sure those floating bits are the writing stenciled or whatever onto the thing. But it's been at this point 30-45 minutes or so, and it's very, very, very dark. So that's progress. Still bubbling a little bit. Not sure sort of where we're gonna go and what it might do after this, but we'll come back in another little while. All right, it's been another 20 minutes. It's certainly getting blacker, which I suppose is a good sign. Good sign as in, you know, it's doing something. Okay, so what we're going to do, this is, what are we, 14-ish hours later, we have kind of this greenish solution that I believe is probably some kind of chromium chloride or something. There's no copper in this. So what I want to do, if I can do this with one hand, get this magnet to pick up the razor blade so I don't have to fish it out. Let me just do this. Ooh, it is doing that. Okay, so now we can put that in there, and we can deal with that shortly. I don't know why that. Maybe there was some baking soda on that. So now what we're left with is this greenish solution that I'm certain is still quite acidic. Obviously, it's what we have. Just to test that, conveniently, is a chunk of baking soda, which I suspect will react rather violently. Okay, so that helps. It does definitely have a smell. Okay, so we've neutralized a lot of that, but then to dilute it a bit before we do anything else with it. Still got that deep green color, huh? Kind of cool. Okay.